have to get our country back. Thank you. Thank you.
Leaving for Camp David, his first time out of Washington in more than a month, President Trump feeling good about progress in treating COVID patients.
I'm pleased to announce that Gilead now has an EUA from the FDA for remdesivir. And you know what that is, because that's been the hot thing also in the papers and in the media for the last little while.
In testing, remdesivir, the antiviral used originally to fight Ebola, has improved recovery time for those with COVID. The maker, counting on that emergency approval, stepped up manufacturing and is donating 1.5 million doses for immediate distribution.
Our task force will be working very closely with Gilead to make sure that those medicines starting on Monday are distributed to hospitals where patients are struggling in serious conditions.
But finding something to actually prevent its spread, a much slower process.
We make forward progress in vaccines and then a little step backwards and then forward progress. It's tough work, and the cure is tough work, but your scientists are working on it around the clock.
And Washington still hearing plenty of complaints. Outside the White House Friday, a call of mayday from truckers who say they're essential workers too, but the government hasn't done enough to provide them with protective masks and gloves.
Brent, I'm joining you this time on 15th and Ada here in Boise, where a large tree has fallen on top of the house that you see behind me. But it's not just one. I'll move out of the way so you can get a better look. This tree has actually fallen on 2 homes, causing severe damage to the first one. You could see the porch just completely obliterated here on the first home where the tree fell for the most part. It fell mostly on this one. You could also see some damage on this porch here. But I spoke with the couple who owns this home, and they tell me that crews from the city are coming out in about an hour or two to remove the tree and try to repair some of the damage. Now, they're not going to be staying in this house tonight. They're a little shooken up, so they're going to be staying with their neighbor right next door, who's offered them a bed while their home is repaired and while this tree is moved out of the way. Fortunately, I spoke to the husband and wife, and they tell me that no one was injured, including their children, and that really the biggest damage to this scene is just what you see here, the surface level of the house. And as I said earlier in our 4 p.m. broadcast, the rain has stopped here in Boise, at least for now. So that's going to make it easier for city officials to come out and help remove this tree so that they can get their valuables out of the house and, maybe what they need to finish out their night with their neighbors. And I'm going to be having more info for you folks coming up tonight at 9 and 10 p.m. on CBS 2, where I'll be talking about the tree that fell on Harrison Boulevard, along with this tree that fell here on 15th and Ada. So make sure to stay tuned for that and check out our website at idahonews.com, where I'll also have more information, pictures, and videos of the trees that fell earlier today. This is Trevor Fay reporting live in Boise.
Well, new tonight, Boise Mayor Lauren McLean signed a public health order requiring people to keep social distancing of 6 feet for the next 30 days. She's also asking folks to wear a face mask when out in public. The mayor says city facilities will open in a staged manner. So let's take a look. Phase 1 will address critical public services, maintenance of facilities, inspections, recycling and compost, and limited golf and whitewater park activities. Now, Phase 2 will add options for the library, Boise Depot, dog parks, expanded golf, bike skills park, and the park restrooms. Group sizes will be limited to 10 people. Phases 3 and 4 will have additional openings not yet announced. There are no dates for each assigned phase yet.
Because we understand the importance of protecting our community, especially the most vulnerable, and our frontline folks that take care of us every day. All of those steps that were taken by each of you are incredibly difficult, but they yielded the results that we needed to see. And we are blessed here in this city and in this state to have not experienced the level of impact that COVID has brought to other communities because we took action early and we took action together.
Parishioners starting Saturday, but they're not going back to normal just yet. CBS 2's Haley Kramer talked to the pastor about the extra precautions they're taking during Mass.
We've been looking at the governor's plan about Idaho rebounds and contacting Central District Health and also reviewing the different things on CDC's website as well.
Father Ben Uhlenkott says although their church holds around 1,200 churchgoers, for now only 200 will be allowed into each Mass. To make sure people don't just show up in numbers, each person will need to reserve a ticket online, but not everyone will be allowed in.
We're just giving people a list before they get their tickets for Mass. So 65 and older, and immune compromised, and that whole list that is there about liver disease, diabetes, morbid obesity, things like that. So we're letting people know first about who's excluded. But then we have different staging areas here as they come.
Those staging areas will be here, with X marks separating everyone in line by 6 feet before they enter through 2 separate doors. They'll hand over their ticket, have their temperature taken, be asked questions about their health, and be given masks that they must wear.
And they'll be escorted into the church and then seated with the spacing within the church.
Some pews are blocked off to keep that 6-foot distance from all sides.
Even if it's a family of 6 that come in and sit down, we're still going to count every single head, because we need to keep that spacing from that family unit to the next pew and that next person.
They're asking everyone to stay in their seats through the entire Mass, with the exception of communion, and for that they're making sure each person is escorted and kept 6 feet apart. Now, there is one Mass that will be different. After hearing from several members, the church is holding the very first Mass on Saturday at 3, specifically for the vulnerable and fragile. 100 of those parishioners will be welcomed inside when the church is freshly sanitized, have their temperatures checked, and again must wear masks. The seating will be separated even more. But Father Uhlenkott says they're really encouraging those at risk.
Just stay home. It's okay, and we're going to continue to stream masses from the church here so they can still participate as best they can, but we're asking people just to be prudent and stay home.
Haley Kramer, CBS 2.